We are live from Cadillac Park, Hicksville, Long Island, New York. This is high school hockey only on News 12 Varsity. And today it's round number 3 of the regular season rivalry between the Chaminade Flyers and the St. Anthony's Friars. Hi again, everybody. Dan Severino with Dylan Butler here with you. Josh Drebsky, our producer. Thanks so much for joining us on this Friday night action for some puck. Dylan, first 2 battles have gone the Friars of St. Anthony's way. First one, a big 8-4 victory, but last game, those 2 teams met, and it was a late goal that ended up deciding it.
Yeah, it was Andrew Sharetta on the power play scoring the winning goal in that one. And so which game will we see? Will we see the lopsided game we saw in that first meeting at Superior Ice Rink, or a tight game that we saw in Syosset? What we do know is Chaminade is a bit shorthanded tonight, so a lot of their top scorers not here, which is going to make it a lot more difficult for the Flyers to certainly stage an offensive attack.
Yeah, those top 2 scorers in Falgu and Parisi, Dunn also out as well. As it looks like we will take a quick break here as we'll play a little homage to our nation in the final bit of predictability in our night. Let's take a look at our netminders tonight. Well, Nick Wunderling was exceptional the first 2 meetings. Today it'll be John Peterson, also a senior. Awesome teammate in the past. This guy has gotten some time between the pipes this year and has done exceptional. Meanwhile, on the other side, Paul D'Amatos, a junior who's in goal for 2 JV championships, holding a 3-1 record and 084 goals against, 844 save percentage. He'll man the net to our left. Chaminade wears the home white uniforms with that classic C in red and gold. St. Anthony's, the black jerseys with the gold tops and white trim. We bring it down to center ice, 6 down, puck down, underway. Thanks so much for joining us on this Friday evening, fresh 15 minutes on the clock. Well, Dylan, of course, with these 2 teams, it's all about what team's going to play discipline. Good chance in front already on this forecheck, but now we'll have St. Anthony's coming away with it. But what team's going to play the most disciplined hockey in such a big rivalry?
Yeah, I think, too, Chaminade, the key early on is to keep things simple defensively, as they're called for icing on this situation, and then still get the puck deep, work it behind the circles, and really create opportunities. For St. Anthony's, look, you know who's missing. You can't take that for granted, though, because you know that the guys who are here tonight for the Flyers are going to give their all, so they've got to play hard. They can't look at who's not here.
Sharetta and Landolfi, 2 guys we highlighted before, take the draw, and it's won by Timmy. As they'll work it along the near half wall, but kept in by St. Anthony. Sharetta throws one on net. It was a knuckleball, still losing the blue paint. They're poking at it, and St. Anthony's will come away without a tally. Somehow, Chaminade get the puck out of the net. Raiden going the other way. 7 points right now on the season. Chip it down deep, but St. Anthony's will bring the biscuit from right to left. Turning, getting some space, Barnick, and he'll go for a line change.
Yeah, what a talent he is, and plays his travel hockey out in New Jersey, the Hitmen.
Shot from the point got blocked. Here comes Zach Morin. Morin on a breakaway, shoots, save by Peterson. Well, it took just 1 minute and 19 seconds, and so far scoring chances on both ends of the ice.
And that was clearly the best one, and it came from pressuring the point. That's what Morin did, and he ends up getting a partial breakaway out of it. Good job by Peterson. First time he's tested, comes up with a big save.
Morin takes the draw and wins it cleanly. Back to the point for Donnelly. Along the half wall and making a nice plays for Lenza, but they couldn't get it out. Move down low. St. Anthony's has the puck. He'll chip it along to the near wall for Justin Veluzzi, and he'll move it ahead back to his own defensive partner. Nice saucer pass ahead, getting some space. Here's Ryan Haight moving up into the play. That was Tim Allen, check that number 86, who was out there, moving ahead. Back in her own real estate, Kevin Donnelly will intercept and chip it down deep.
Tell you, Dan, in the second matchup between these 2 teams, Chaminade was very much the aggressor. They got an early goal inside the first minute, but really they were unlucky not to get a second one in a dominant first, I'd say probably 12 minutes of that game.
Yeah, game number 1 between the two teams. It was only about the 3rd game into the season, so a lot of question marks going forward. But St. Anthony's jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Pretty much went wire to wire in their top line. The Sheretta line was phenomenal, scoring 5 of the 8 goals in that outing. The second meeting, as Dylan, you alluded to, that one at least came down deep. And the blocker save gets ricocheted into the near corner. Behind the net, Tulio glides ahead, trying to lead it for Pacifico, who moves down deep. Jabbing at it is Cassidy as well. They'll try and move it to the right point. Big shot from Smith, and that will miss.
Yeah, took a deflection, goes towards this near side post.
The outlet pass, moves it on out. Areola will ring it around the boards from left to right, as there's also a hit back out in a neutral zone that Chaminade wanted a penalty for.
A big open ice collision right at center ice. I don't think there was any maliciousness, though, in it. I think it was just two guys just not realizing where they were.
Puck takes a couple of hops on their home ice here at Candiac, and I haven't been here in some time, Dylan. This place really looks great. I mean, the boards, you could even tell, if you remember from the old Nassau Coliseum, I mean, they are pretty much the same boards out on the ice. Pretty much new stands. This is a beautiful facility and a little bit warmer than what we dealt with on Monday night up at Portledge.
And nothing wrong with that.
It was about 22 degrees when we were 17 layers. I think I've been taking off layers since I've gotten here. It's just so comfortable. Back in their own end, they try and flip it back out to the neutral zone. Now Max Squeri will send it down deep to the near corner. Raiden. Boards bang around a couple of times as Pacifico tries to jab at it. Shot from the point from Liza, misses wide left. Now another shot that misses wide right from Dan Castles. Looking for the first goal in his varsity career still. Another hit, but Liza will just corral it back in his own end. Angles it off the boards, looking for Timmy Landolfi, a little bit too out of his reach. And a delayed offside will force Chaminade back out to the middle of the ice.
Yeah, Lando, so important. He has been throughout the year, but especially now, he is going to probably shoulder a lot of this offensive responsibility now for the Flyers.
17 points, 7 of them coming on a tally. And we've even spoken to Ed Smith, who has said it's not fair to compare him to Michael, who is arguably the greatest to come out of the Chaminade program, but he could have his own as being one of the top guys, and maybe a Mount Rushmore if you want to consider for the Flyers.
Yeah, I mean, look again to what he did last year, right? He comes up middle of the season as a sophomore and has a great year on the same line with his older brother, and he's just picked up where he's left off this year.
Here's Michael Heck weaving his way in, gets the puck on net, and Peterson makes the stop, as he had Connor Zamball also pushing him out of the way. Less than 5 minutes into this game, we've had some end-to-end action, but still a scoreless contest here in Hicksville.
And it's actually now, if you think about it, the longest time this regular season, this third matchup, that either team hasn't scored. We've seen St. Anthony score a bunch early in that first game at Superior, and like I said earlier, Chaminade scoring within the first minute in the second matchup at Syosset.
Here's Nick Kazi, another younger brother. As we mentioned back in that first meeting, it's kind of the battle of the younger bros who have had exceptional seasons. They play it off the boards, trying to chase down deep was Ryan Haight from the point. The defenseman pinching in, moved at the point. Now Sheretta, top of the left dot, wrist shot right to the breadbasket, spills out in front, and they score. I believe it was Barnick.
Well, you always talk about the importance of the dirty goals, and that's what St. Anthony's got on that situation. Just again, poking at the puck, trying to get the rebound in front. It results in a goal, and St. Anthony's with that early 1-0 lead.
5:22. And we'll get the confirmation on the goal, but it is a 1-0 lead for St. Anthony's. Remember, that play all happens because Haight pinches down deep. Yet Sheretta out at left point trying to help him out. Just throws a puck on net and was spilt out. Tomatoes couldn't cover up that rebound.
Important few minutes now for Chaminade.
Pass into the slot, looking for Max Squeri, who has 3 tallies on the year. Gliding ahead, left wing. Barnick gets rung up right in the middle of the ice by Squeri, and he loves to throw to body.
Yeah, Squeary's already got a few big hits early on.
Landolfi lowers the shoulder, tries to drive towards the cage, but he'll be stopped before he gets anywhere. Chaminade back in their own ends, playing catch up as they really have most of this series this season. Hecht on the far side of the ice. He has 2 goals in the 5 games he's played, but now this forecheck from that second line, which really has some size, Dylan. You got Mahlmeister, who's been exceptional in his sophomore year, 11 goals on 16 points. But then in addition to Allen and Forlenza, those some big bodies next to a younger player.
Yeah, it's important to do that too, right? So they know they've got some insurance around you and you don't really have to worry a whole lot.
To the near half wall. Kept in by that pressure from St. Anthony's, and it was Tim Allen who was on top of Zach Morin, who tries to skate ahead. Rings around the boards to the near side of the wall. Chaminade having some trouble getting it out of their own end. They just want to turn and open up some space.
Yeah, relentless forecheck right now.
They have been in this part of the ice for at least a minute. To the near wall again. This flutters back out to the middle of the sheet and sent right back in by Michael Haggerty as St. Anthony's can get a line change. Puck bounces around a couple of times in the middle of the ice, and that will go into the bench. Finally bringing a halt to action. 7:42 to play in the first. A 1-0 lead for St. Anthony's.
Friars, the 7th-ranked team in the Tri-State by News 12 Varsity, undefeated on the season. It's only been league games, though, thus far. They pick up a big non-leaguer. Dan, I know you're excited about this. We'll have it for you as well on News 12 Varsity when they take on Pelham. Pelham, a team that went to the state championships a year ago, losing to Scanty Atlas in the Division II semifinals.
So we get some Hudson Valley action rounding out this Tri-State. Well, so far in the last week, we've seen Jersey, we've seen Long Island. At least you and I have. It's been a fun week of hockey. And that'll be a good test for St. Anthony's because it comes just a couple of weeks shy of the playoffs. Right now, they're trying to clinch that #1 spot. Good shot in the slot this time by Matt Tullio. And the glove stop by D'Amatos.
We have the scoring on that goal. It was Barnich with the goal, Zambil with the assist. So the shot from the point, followed up in front, and scored by Greg Barnich.
Be his 3rd of the season, a guy who was top 3 on the team last year in points. Some of that production going down, even though he has played in 5 games, missing some time mostly to travel. He's playing for the Hitmen now, after being a Royal, as the hitting picks up here, Dill.
Speaking of hitmen.
That was Kevin Donnelly who was throwing the body around, bringing the oohs and ahs from the bench, and now all of them are standing up on their feet.
When both teams, too, just kind of trying to figure out what the refs will allow them, and so far they've allowed them to go.
Shot from the point misses wide left. To the near wall. Low shot. Here's Bentley, and he just misses. Deflects out of play.
By the way, I want to thank, while we can, our buddy Chris from Chaminade. He's over in the scorer's box, giving us the official scoring. Usually that's where I am. But here at Caniag, it's a setup where the scorer's box on the opposite side of the rink. We obviously can't run wires across center ice, so.
Well, we could, but it'd be a little dangerous.
Yeah, I think it would probably be sliced up by the end, midway through the first.
Another face-off coming here at the left dot. Yet for Chaminade, you know, even though they've fallen in the first 2 meetings, and the third one, and always, that first and third seem to always matter the most, but when you're down, you know, the first 2, to get swept and to be swept, they're 2 different things than obviously splitting out. So I think for the Flyers, it's more of an important kind of mental aspect. Look, we can get them. We can beat them again if we see them in the postseason.
No doubt, and I think, too, you want to prove certainly you can play with them with who you have on the ice, and St. Anthony's, of course, as the puck comes up over the St. Anthony's bench, they want to prove that they are absolutely the defending champion for a reason.
I just see our broadcast view not too far away from the benches. And this building kind of reminding me of the old Igloo in Pittsburgh, just because of the way the ceiling is. What a great sight. Face-off won by the Flyers. It'll be Liza moving it back.
No Primanti brothers? That's the
I've never
place,
had
right?
one. I've only been to Pittsburgh once, and I never got it.
How can you do that?
I was a little disappointed. It wasn't my call. I didn't have. It was not for the Penguins. It was for actually Hofstra women's basketball, so I didn't have the call on where we went. 2-on-2 the other way, trying to dance around was Jack Corwin, and he's going to draw himself a penalty on this. There'll be an interference call upcoming. And the Chaminade power play will come out for the first time in this game. A little more than 5 minutes left in the first. So Zamble to the box for interference.
A big opportunity here for the Flyers. They've got to prove they can cash in on their power play. And obviously if they do, they get themselves right back in this game tied up.
Landolfi will take the draw against. Looks like Barnick's going to end up taking this one, number 81 from that right dot.
There's a little confusion on how to set up. There it is, 2 minutes on the board.
A tie-up and a win. Shot from the point. Comes from Corwin. And a glove stop by Peterson, who, except for that one play early on that breakaway, has not really been tested so much in almost the first 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah, a lot of the looks have been from deep, from the point. Shots he's able to see.
Morwin and Corwin man the points. They're both forwards. Barnick on a short-handed attempt. And a whistle blows as St. Anthony's had the puck.
Not sure, maybe called offside on the play, but
well, offsides looks to be the call. Neutral zone win by Chaminade. As it's killed off now, 25 seconds of this power play, which you see for the first time today. Max Squeri also getting out there on the man up, as an icing will come and bring a faceoff all the way back. Those are the ones that obviously frustrate coaches, icings on power plays.
And this is a St. Anthony's team that they're so dangerous, even down a man. You know, Dan, some teams just take the idea just to stay very defensive on the penalty kill, not the Friars. They are aggressive.
And it's some of the same guys coming out there. Barnick being one of them who is so good. Nick Kazi also helping him out in the forward spots. Haight will settle back in his own end. This almost looks like a power play on the other side. Minute 10 remaining in this man advantage. They'll clear at the length of the ice and go out for a change.
Different personnel than Chaminade are used to having on the ice in the power play, and I think we're seeing the result of that now, where puck just deflects in front of the Flyers' goal.
Pacifico throwing a big check, but that's going to draw a penalty as well. And they'll have to separate some of the boys on the near side of the ice. He took a run into the near corner, and we will be playing 5-on-3 for 45 seconds.
Let's see, this should probably be a charge. Now the official doesn't actually make the call.
So far, except for that face-off win to start the beginning of that man advantage, Dylan, a little stagnant. Now you have some open spaces. You're not going to see the Friars as aggressive. Be able to see some creativity coming for the Flyers of Chaminade. Landolfi wins the draw, but loses the battle. Kept in at right point by Corwin. They move it over to the far side. Squeri down low. Radin with the backhander. That got stopped by Peterson with the blocker. Pressuring is Haggerty. They move it back to the point. Cross-ice pass to the right dot. Landolfi surveys the ice. They'll play catch with 20 seconds on this two-man advantage. Landolfi with the wrist shot. Deflected in front by Radin. Pokes it in the paint. And it'll be stopped with a whistle.
And that's what you got to do if you're Chaminade. You've got to get that first shot on and then flood the net. Get a lot of bodies in front and try to get those those chippies in front, those little loose pucks in front.
Heck, Haggerty, and Kazi, the 3 men out there for St. Anthony's. The 5 now for Chaminade, Raiden, Landolfi, Heck, Morwin, and Corwin. Face off won by Landolfi. Here's Corwin, the lefty, from the point to the near half wall. Timmy looking around, 5 seconds on the 2-man advantage. Back to center point. The shot's low, got blocked by Kazi, and he'll go skating on the races. Back to 5-on-4. Kazi spins around and loses the rubber.
Kazi likes to do the spectacular, and at times that's warranted, but not there. That's a situation. He's got to get the puck deep. He's got to realize he's got 3 or 4 guys around him.
Landolfi dances around 1, yet it will be St. Anthony's to have the puck. Here's Nick Kazi. Gains the blue stripe, shorthanded. Tries to put on the brace, gets taken out of the play into the near boards. Helping him out is going to be Barnich, as we're back again to 5-on-4 for 40 more seconds. So far, really just one good chance, and it was Raiden who had a deflection on a Landolfi shot. He skates along the left wing, puts on the brakes, chips it down deep for Michael Heck. Hate's going to get to the puck first, now behind the key to Chaminade. And it's going to be lodged right on the netting and also covered by Peterson, bringing us a stoppage. 19 seconds remaining on this man advantage. So far, 0 for 1 on the power play is Chaminade. Face off at the left dot as power play 2 comes out there. McCormick wins the draw. Donnelly to Norton, shoots low, save, they score! Pekarski, it's a power play goal, and we're tied up at 1.
Yeah, there's 14 seconds left in the man advantage, and that's exactly what we said Chaminade needed to do. Pekarski got the juicy rebound in front, right off the pad, and pokes it home. A power play goal. We're tied at 1 with 2:20 left in this first period.
That will be Peter's 2nd goal of the season, his 1st on the man advantage. So after having a pretty stagnant first power play and a 5-on-3, which is unsuccessful, it's power play group number 2, Dylan, that just gets it to the net quickly. The first save was made by Peterson, and cleaning up the loose trash, Peter Pekarski.
And sometimes this game, Dan, you know it well, is simple. Right, it's work the puck deep, get it out to the points, and crash the net. Mo Baird, we saw in the outdoor game, they did that in the 2nd and 3rd periods against Portledge, and that's what won them that game.
Chaminade wins the puck along the boards again. It was McCormick who missed wide. Jeff McCormick moves it down low. Cerrone, the junior, tries to dance with the biscuit, moves it back to the point as Alex Squeri will ring it around the boards to the far side. McCormick flips it down with 95 seconds to go in this opening period. They get the puck to Malmeister. Watch out. He stays on side. Here's Ryan Malmeister. Gets free. Shoots. Save by D'Amatos. Dylan, he is just so explosive. Ryan Malmeister, a sophomore, played for the Junior Isles, now the under-16 Royals. And the 11 goals he's having in his first year in a St. Anthony's varsity uniform, he has shown he's the real deal.
A little stretch pass, and then he's off to the races, and real important save as well there. And we've got the official scoring on that goal. Credit Norton and McCormick with the assists on Pekarski's goal.
Last minute of play here in the first. That's Connor Norton, who just had an assist. Will flip it down deep and then go chase. Squeri along the wall. They try and keep it in. St. Anthony's comes away 3-on-3. Gain the red line, now the blue, and dispossessed by Raiden on a nice two-way play coming back. Here's Raiden. Cuts towards the middle, gets taken down. We're losing an edge. Kazi. Good stick check will stop that rush for the Friars. Cross ice pass. Tulio was looking to try and find Haggerty pinching in, but he'll just settle it back out to the neutral zone. Saucer pass up the middle to Haight, and that will be offside as Tulio was one step ahead. 16.2 on the clock here in the first frame. 1-1 is our score.
Good one, I think, if you're the Flyers, right? Because you knew you've come into this game a bit shorthanded. A lot of your offensive firepower that you've relied on throughout the year, not here. But the other guy's getting the job done.
Face-off won by St. Anthony. Shot from the point from Zamble right into the teeth of the D. And now another turnover, but a little down too deep. Trying to find Tim Allen was Ray Hawkins. At right point, flipping it high in the air. Justin Beluzzi will have the puck, but the whistle will blow as the first period comes to a close. St. Anthony's got on the board first. It was Greg Barnick who ended up tallying home a play right in front. And then the power play goal from Peter Pekarski ties it up late in the first. 15 minutes at the books. We'll be back with more on News 12 Varsity. Welcome back to News 12 Varsity. Dan Severino, Dylan Butler, and Josh Drebsky. Thanks so much for joining us. Peterson in goal to our left for St. Anthony's as they will go from left to right on your TV screens. Ball D'Amatos manning the net to our right. 15 minutes on the clock. 1-1's the score. Varnish had the opening goal. That came at 5:22, assisted by Connor Zamble. Then on the power play after going 0 for 1 and not really get anything going on a 5-on-3 for 45 seconds. It was Pekarski who punched home another tally to equalize this game. That's his second of the season, assisted by Norton and McCormick. Loose in front, and a hit also as somebody ran into D'Amatos, who was making the save. Dylan, the hitting's starting to pick up a little bit more, and it just seems whenever St. Anthony's starts to throw the body around but controlled, that is when they're at their best.
Oh, without a doubt. And the problem, though, is there are plenty of opportunities when they're not.
Haggerty gets past one. Couldn't undress the second man, who was Donnelly, standing up right at the blue line.
Yes, I guess Chaminade is down a man. Again, the part of the problem here is that they don't make the physical calls. So Chaminade must have picked up a penalty right at the end of that first period.
So our apologies. I'm not sure if it actually came. There was some jawing and really some stick checks that were going on right before the opening faceoff. So there is somebody in the box for Chaminade. We'll try and get confirmation on who it is. But now 40 seconds remaining on this St. Anthony's power play. And here comes Nick Kazi. A stick check at the point. Another good play by Donnelly. And so far, a couple of good stops here on a shorthanded attempt.
And again, part of the issue is that, usually when a referee goes to the official score to give them the call, they'll do the signal of what that penalty is. And we've only seen them going over, talking to the official scorers and not making the actual physical call. So there's now 12 seconds left in this power play for the Friars.
Tulio back to the point. Here's Zamble. Pump fakes. Check that Barnich. And poking it loose is Max Squeary. Here comes Squeary shorthanded. Haggerty comes back and stops the shot. What a play by number 22 wearing black. Haggerty, one of the returning players for the last couple of years. Move down deep. Tulio has it now. We'll just lead it ahead as Barnett can go to work. Undresses one, chips it down deep, and tries to hold on to the puck as now the speed has started to pick up here. Tough shot and a save by D'Amatos as Forlenza took that one just inside the blue.
Looked like D'Amatos is trying to steer the puck towards the boards. 2-on-1 now.
Landolfi.
Good recovery.
Looking for Raiden, and Haight was the one to come back.
But a moment ago, it looked like D'Amatos was trying to steer the puck towards the boards, but kind of fluttered on him a little bit and just stopped at the post.
Stays along the wall, back down to the neutral zone. They'll move it over for Lenza. Gains the stripe, shoots, but misses wide. And he's got a little zip on his shot attempts from that right side.
By the way, full credit goes to the student fans from both of these teams. They're standing. We'll get a look at them on the next stoppage, but a good cross-section of fans, of student fans from both schools. They were a little bit late arriving, maybe some traffic heading over here in the LIE or the Northern State, but they have come here and they've come here in droves.
Yeah, 6:30 is a tough time. You want to still get dinner beforehand. You have to deal with the traffic. Kids come from all over playing for these two schools. And obviously, Chaminade based in Mineola, but many from Queens and throughout Long Island. St. Anthony's, same exact thing. They really come from all over the place. Icing will be called. And take a look at some of those students up there. That's the Chaminade side. And then over to our right, it's going to end up being the St. Anthony's fans.
Yeah, there they are. And I love, too, again, that's the setup they have here. Perfect, right, to keep the fans separated. What a great barn this is here at Cantiag Ice Rink, and they could not have been more accommodating.
Chaminade will win the draw and get it back out to center ice. Chipped right back down deep. Here's Justin Veluzzi as he hustles over to the puck. Cleared all the way down. No icing as it's waved off.
Well, you've heard from another Veluzzi in between periods.
And Justin Veluzzi's brother, Jared, who is, as we've mentioned back in our first game, he's here as another icing call. Tell us the story here, but Justin actually went on, Jared went on, huddle up with Amanda Puglisi earlier on this year, talking about St. Anthony's football, and had a chance to chat with him just a couple of minutes ago. Actually, one of my students over at Hofstra Continuing Ed, teaching a sportscasting camp in the summer for teens. Jared's a great kid, and now he's over here by us, and he was given a little bit of advice. He said Chaminade needs to, well, he said St. Anthony's needs to pick up the hitting, because Chaminade can't take it sometimes when they play a little physical. By the way, he's only in 8th grade, and also has gotten into both of these schools.
Wow.
Which one do you think he's going to end up going to?
Does he follow his brother? Well, I don't know if he has a choice to be one. After meeting with his parents before, I'm pretty sure that he already has all the St. Anthony's gear.
A shot comes from Cerrone. And now here comes some of the physical stuff as well, as a little scrum ensues afterwards.
Well, that's going to happen when you throw a little snow on the goalie.
Peterson between the pipes tonight, guy who's been working really his tail off since the summer, since those summer workouts. And again, when you're playing against a guy like Nick Wunderling, who was so good, more than 30 saves in the first game, and he really was underrated, I think, in that first meeting. The second game, that was him that really kept them in the game.
Oh, the save that he made on Stephen Falgu was spectacular. And that was with like 5 and change left. Did a great job on that. But look, the two goalies split time their last game, a big win. I believe it was 8-0 over Iowa Prep. So, you know, look, we see it with the New York Rangers. We'll see it with St. Anthony's, right? If you want to give the one guy an opportunity. And this is a big chance here now for Peterson.
I wouldn't be too bad being either Antti Ranta or Henrik Lundqvist. No 3-goalie situation like the Islanders, though. Shot misses high as it got deflected coming off the stick from Morin, and a hit into the corners. Barnich weaves inside, gets taken out in the process, but still got the shot off. And that woke up some of the fans.
And that was, again, Squeary, so physical on that back end for the Flyers.
Corwin down deep to Pekarski. Takes a check, tries to move the puck. Ryan Haight will have it instead for the Friars. Back out to center ice, and then it will be Nick Kazi, who actually got rung up right along the boards with St. Anthony's, thinking there should be a penalty.
Yeah, you saw a whole bunch of hands lifted up on the St. Anthony's bench looking for a call.
Center in front, the backhander from Landolfi. And another strong play by Ryan Haight, taking him out of the play. Liza to Donnelly. Couldn't get it all the way out. Haggerty keeps it in at left point. Flipped ahead. Here comes Timmy. Landolfi tries to go towards his left and gets hit right along the boards. Now coming from the side, it's Raiden who throws a check.
Yeah, the physicality, as you said, certainly ramping up. So far, though, it's clean. Here's a 3-on-1.
Looking in front, saved by Tomatos. What a stop, robbing Tim Allen.
Oh, and again, he holds on to the puck, slides out, gets on his belly, and grabs the puck. Dan, if that puck is loose at all, that's a goal. And does a fantastic job just holding on. And, you know, he's kept it simple here tonight. He's not trying to do too much. He's covering up everything that he sees.
He ended up coming in for relief back in that first meeting, and he was sharp. Here's Morwin. Skates along the right wing, chips it down deep. They'll go to work. Michael Heck tries to flag the puck down first, but St. Anthony's will come away with the rubber. Odd man rush the other way if they can hurry. Pacifico stick checked right at the point as McCormick was able to get it out. And it'll go right into the bench, and the faceoff will come back out to the neutral zone. But Dylan, that's a huge one that wakes up a team, especially after some of the hitting starting to pick up. You're starting to hear the oohs and ahs coming from the fans, and it's keeping it at really a tie game. Pacifico tries to fend off a check from McCormick. We'll just leave the puck. Pinching in, here's Cassidy. Behind the net, trying to center in front for Pacifico. Moved out to the near half wall as Michael Heck checked that. Will fly past a check. Gets past Bentley, now battles over here at Benz. Behind the net, Heck tries to just throw one on Cage. Here's Michael Heck again. In traffic, taken away, 2-on-2. Sweeney gets past one check from Corwin and then throws a check against Alex Squeary.
Yeah, the battles along the boards are just fierce.
Corwin trying to move the puck over. He had McCormick, who was in the slot. Squeary will settle it down to Pekarski, who falls down. And Sweeney just couldn't handle the biscuit as he nearly walked in on a breakaway.
How about the mottos, too? Just cool as a cucumber.
Pekarski scores! It was a knuckleball, and Chaminade has their first lead of the game.
Wow, it certainly was. Maybe took a deflection, but it just fluttered in over the right shoulder, and Chaminade, rallying from that early 1-0 deficit, has taken a 2-goal lead with 6:40 left here in the second period.
Dylan, think about that play. He fell down in his own end. Nearly a breakaway. Moved up ahead, just throw a puck on net. And I'm not sure if Peterson was even able to see that.
Yeah, Ariola with the assist. Number 23 in your scorebook.
So Pekarski doubling his goal total tonight. He now has 3 on the season, 2 in the game. For the hard-nosed, speedy forward who has been kind of all over the place. And getting some more ice time right now as Ed Smith says, get out there.
Look, we're not in the dressing room before the game, but you've got to figure at some point, Ed Smith or one of his coaches, when they addressed their team, they said there's other opportunities here for other guys tonight.
Here's Pekarski, already with 2 goals, will flip one on goal with the backhand. Didn't reach Peterson.
And as you said, it's next man up. It's next opportunity. There'll be more ice time for more guys. And again, the St. Anthony's bench looking for a call that wasn't there.
Yeah, Veluzzi got taken out of the play right at the blue line. He'll flip it down deep. They'll get a change as Donnelly settles it back in his own real estate.
And Pekarski is one of those guys right now who's answering that bell, that challenge for, Coach, I want that extra ice time.
Saucer pass ahead, skating into it is Chulio. Dangle, shoots, saved by Dematos. That was on a string. Tulio has the puck back, tries to center in front for Kazi. Moving into the play is Cabal, but they're going to call a whistle.
Yeah, net comes off the hinges, and if you're squeary on that situation, the puck's on the far boards, you're poking at it. You've got to get that puck clear. He thought he had it clear, did not. Ended up having a good opportunity for St. Anthony's.
Face off at the left dot. Tulio wins it back to the point. Shot by Cabal and sticked aside to the near corner. Pinned up along the boards. Tulio tries to come away with the rubber. They get to Haggerty with a shot. Loose in front. Save with the right pad. Still kept in. Michael Haggerty wearing the A on his sweater. Moves the puck to Kazi.
Tell you, Dan, D'Amato's very mobile, right, for a bigger goaltender.
You want to talk about a cool cat, that's him. Especially when you're winning 2 JV championships. And in net for both of them. Back to the point. Cabal with the wrist shot right into the teeth of the D. But Chaminade still can't get the puck out. Spinning out of the play was Kazi, and now Chaminade comes away. Raiden will flip it down. He'll go hard into the boards. Loose in front, score! Tim Landolfi. 3 unanswered goals for the Flyers.
Well, Lando's the guy. He goes to those dirty areas on the regular. And that was a great opportunity for him right in front of the net. He cashes in on that opportunity. And how about this rally for Chaminade?
Next guy up, Dylan. That's all it is. And that's the guy, of course, they expect to be scoring some of their big goals. High shot from Florenza. And then the rebound couldn't get to on the near wall.
Yeah, that was a juicy rebound, huh? Off those boards. We saw those a few times at the Coliseum. Those end boards, how bouncy they are, how much spring they have.
No ice girls in between each whistle. And I can't find Sparky.
I think we're going to have a goalie change now for St. Anthony's.
So Nick Wunderling is going to come into this game with 3:35 left in the second period, as Lund's going to talk to him and give him some words of wisdom. I'm not sure if it was an expected split. It wasn't really the call. It wasn't expected to be, at least what we were told. So it could just be one of those things to wake up the guys on the bench.
Well, I mean, so when you look at the last goal, I mean, Landolfi's on his doorstep, and he gets the pass. The official assist goes to Raiden, but what are you going to do there, really, right? That's not on him, for sure.
Connor Zamble. He has an assist today, but turns it over. Morwin pitchforks it down deep. Michael Hecht will be sandwiched between 2 St. Anthony's players. Morwin comes away with the rubber, but fanned on the shot. Here comes Tim Allen. Allen, a wrist shot and a big stop on the blocker by D'Amatos. Still loose. Valenza will miss. Kept in the zone. Mahlmeister tries to dangle around one as Corwin will fly ahead on the left wing. Corwin settles, shoots, and misses wide. And doing exactly what any team should with a new goalie coming in. Keep getting pucks on net.
I'll tell you, he didn't miss by much.
Looking for that short side, the one-handed pass attempt. Couldn't really get it off as he was hounded. Corwin back in his own end. And Jack will just flip it up ahead as Arriola will chip.
And this so far, with 2 minutes left here in the second, this is the Flyers' largest lead in this series this year.
Yeah, they didn't lead in the first meeting. Tough shot, tougher save by Paul D'Amatos. But they didn't lead for only a couple of minutes, actually, in that second one. Haggerty back at center point. Moves it over. Here's Cabal. Shoots and right into the chest of Paul D'Amatos. 92 seconds to play here in the second. 3 unanswered goals by the Flyers.
And you see some of the frustration now for the St. Anthony's guys where they're banging their sticks against the boards. They're looking up into the beautiful roof that they have here at Cantiag and getting a little bit frustrated. D'Amatos maybe getting in their head a little bit.
Pacifico takes a hit. Now Cassidy down into the near corner. Stick checked along, moving it ahead. Tim Landolfi.
3-on-2.
To turn some defense to offense. He'll just flip one towards the net, and standing on the top of his crease will be Nicholas Wunderlich. Wunderlich had 34 saves in that in the second meeting, rather that. Was very solid in the first one as well, but still, and you mentioned, of course, that big save that came late, shot from the point. That was Donnelly that got blocked.
Yeah, he absolutely robbed Stephen Falgu from in front of the net, and a moment later.
Another high shot, loose in front. They're gonna say no goal.
Yeah, I think they're gonna call it a hand pass.
It looked like Raiden put it in, but it was right at the left paint is where that kind of got deflected.
And again, the officials not making any calls over here towards us, except just to say that it was no goal. I mean, again, my only guess is that when the puck comes over, we now have some chirping between the two teams, that when the puck comes over, maybe it was handled, and the puck does come out of to the blue line. So that's my guess, at least. That's all we can go off of right now, that it was a hand pass in the offensive zone.
Face-off won by Landolfi. Squeary puts it in front, and crashing right towards the net was Raiden, who ends up taking a hit high from Ryan Haight. Again, Raiden had been the one who was chirping a lot.
And Raiden is pointing towards the penalty box for the Flyer. But I think he's getting one too. Is he getting the only one? No.
They're going to send both. And Dill, they've been trying, at least a lot of Raiden's teammates were trying to at least pull him back, tell him to settle down, don't take a penalty.
Should be 5-on-5 with the offsetting minor. We still have a conversation at center ice. 50 seconds left. So the penalties won't go up on the scoreboard. They won't be 4-on-4. They will be offsetting.
Question is also, will this be 10-minute misconducts? If so, you lost a chippy power player like Raiden, who likes to get in guys' heads, and then Ryan Haight, who's, of course, one of the better defensemen in the Catholic League.
The answer will come from my buddy Chris.
So 5-on-5 hockey, 40 seconds now to play here in the middle frame. Chaminade has put 2 on the scoreboard here in the second. Here's Kazi looking to try and answer and stop this 3-goal unanswered, really battle, you want to say, from Chaminade, which has started from that power play goal late in that first period.
Now, if you're the Flyers, it's key to not concede one late. You've got all the momentum right now. You want to keep it going into the final 15 minutes.
Landolfi with a good keep. Here's Landolfi, pulls the string and saved by Wunderlich with the glove. 5 seconds to play. As the clock actually stopped for some reason, that gives them an extra second, but it will not matter. So, 30 minutes in the books. And what an exciting first 2 periods of hockey we've seen. It's the Flyers who score 2 in the middle frame to take a 3-1 lead against St. Anthony's. It's round number 3 in the regular season. St. Anthony's Chaminade only on News 12 Varsity. Welcome back to News 12 Varsity. Dan Severino, Dylan Butler, and Josh Drebsky. Thanks so much for joining us. Chaminade goes from left to right. Ball to Matos in goal to our left. Nick Wunderling now in relief in between the pipes to our right.
Well, this sets up a juicy third.
2 goals in the second, 3 unanswered in total by Chaminade. And also 2 guys in the box on the far side. It's Raiden and Haight with matching 2-minute penalties for roughing.
Now keep in mind too, because of that, they have to wait for the first stoppage after their penalty is up.
That was Malmeister dancing his way in, missing wide.
Yeah, what a talent he is, huh? Only a sophomore and has come on this year, first year on the varsity, and he has been explosive.
Not a lot of sophomore kids, obviously, who come up and play for St. Anthony's. You have to really be that kind of talent. And Bob Lund feeling that if you're going to be a sophomore, you're going to have to make an impact. Otherwise, there's no point in being up there. I'd prefer you to get some better minutes down at JV and get a lot of ice time. Malmeister looking in front, trying to find a deflection, was Haggerty, and that missed. Big hit along the boards, as it was Norton who took Pacifico out of the play. In front of the benches, Morin and Pacifico come together, chips it down deep. Heck plays it along the walls. McCormick will take over the biscuit. McCormick has an assist on that first goal that came on the power play. And again, it was power play number 2 after a 5-on-3 for 45 seconds failed. And the simple play, just the waning seconds of that second man advantage. Throw something on net, hope for the best, and that's exactly what happened. They kept it simple and they were able to score, tying up the game at 1 late in the first.
Well, I've been to a few Chaminade games here. They beat Fordham and they beat Iona. And in both games, what they did so well, Dan, is just that. Get to the dirty areas, poke away. Nice save.
That was Sweeney unleashing a shot. Back at the point, Bentley, and he drives it high and wide. Zamble will try and just throw one towards the net. It flutters before it ends up hitting D'Amatos. Jack Corwin tries to move it out, still kept in by the Friars. Another shot hits the cage, and that one kind of fooled D'Amatos a little bit. Might have hit the noggin.
And a lot of times, Dan, those goals in front, you've got to pay the price with the physicality, knowing that the other team's defense will knock you down. But it's, as we have a high stick, which will allow the players from both teams to exit the box. But those aren't the goals that'll make like morning skate. You know, they're not the highlight reel goals, but they certainly count as much. And a lot of times they mean so much more. 'Cause those are guys who are sacrificing for your team. And there's plenty of guys on both of these teams who do that on a game-by-game basis.
Barnage takes the draw on the right dot against Corwin. Corwin wins, though. Check that. Cerrone ends up winning that draw. Down low, Chaminade trying to move it out. It was Donnelly kept in at left point, now by Haight. Gets his first minutes and it's coming out of the box. Slides it ahead, couldn't get it out though. Stopped in front. Norton tries to clear, still can't get it out. Haight's shot gets blocked, loose in front. Poking at it was Cabal, and that's gonna bring a whistle.
And a lot of traffic in front. And I'll tell you right now, D'Amatos is just playing on another level. Good job, but it's actually funny because it's a little bit towards your own guys because St. Anthony's with all the pressure right now on the Chaminade net. But I like the job of the Chaminade kids in the booth there playing the music, little Billy Joel pressure.
We're in Hicksville after all.
That is true, the home of Mr. Joel.
If anybody wants to take a guess, tweet at us how many times I've seen Billy Joel live. Here's Raiden to Squarey. Squarey, low shot, Raiden! And diving on it is Wunderling after stopping the first one with a left flipper.
So close, no one able to get there. Part of the reason is because Landolfi blocked a shot. He was really feeling that one. You can see the pain he's in as he leaves the ice.
Morin wins the draw, goes straight to the cage, and gets taken out.
Sorry, Dan. Wonderling very aggressive around this cage, huh?
He almost looks like a goalie from the 80s. Just the way he's standing up out there and jumping at it. 3-on-1. For Lenza, one-timer, Allen, and it couldn't hit him on the doorstep. He had Mahlmeister. Mahlmeister again. Mahlmeister shoots, and a stop by D'Amatos right in front of the net.
What an opportunity there for St. Anthony's. Mahlmeister on a 3-on-1. Great puck movement by the Friars, but he's unable to knock home that last pass.
Allen with the face-off. Chaminade wins it, trying to move it out was Donnelly, still kept in. Mahlmeister battling down low. Here's Allen along the near wall. Changes direction now to the far side for Lenza. Uses the big body, gets some space. Shot, score! A snipe from the right dot. It's a one-goal game and still plenty of time remaining in this contest.
Yeah, you said it, really. What a shot. Between the circles, an absolute filthy snipe, and now it's a 3-2 game with 10:18 left here in the third.
Well, he's got the size. And the junior, again, who just uses that big natural strength he has. Nets his second goal of the season and brings it back to just a one-goal contest. So Dylan, most of the goal scorers today only scoring their second or third goals on the year. And now the chant is, let's go Friars.
Unassisted goal, by the way, for Lenza on that one. Ooh.
Trying to find Pacifico in front. I would give Allen an unofficial helper on that one for his play of changing direction into the near corner.
Cerrone a moment ago, a huge hit.
Pekarski with 2 goals today. Moves it over to Squarey, can't get the puck out. Pacifico from the left dot, settles, fires, and misses.
Doesn't miss by much.
Areola will flip it down, no icing.
Yeah, good job. Got his team a line change and as they were absorbing pressure, but now look at his breakout. Whoa, Wonderling.
Trying to stretch pass, and they're lucky that there wasn't more pressure coming from Raiden. Haggerty will unleash one out from the neutral zone. And Bob Lund not too happy on the bench here, Dylan, from that shot attempt. But maybe he saw something to saying, not going to throw one on there, and maybe you'll get a little lucky, get something going.
Well, again, I mean, you put a puck on net, you do, and D'Amatos is making all those saves, not giving up the rebounds, you'll still get those deep faceoffs.
Face-off at the right dot. One at the point. Bentley moves it down low. Trying to spin out of a check. It's Kazi. Still controls the puck into the near corner as Donnelly tries to take him out. Get some help as they jab at it into this near corner again. Cabal pinching in. The blue liner will move it over. Here's Bentley, tries to zip it down low. As Kazi tries to battle again, Donnelly sprawls out. Cabal with the puck. Christian Cabal on that far half wall, playing a forward position right now. He can play really up front or down low. We've seen him on both sides tonight. Bentley and back out to the neutral zone as they'll saucer a pass ahead. Dylan, one guy who actually, thinking about it now, I haven't seen since back in the first period play much is Sharetta, the captain. He's on the bench right now, but really haven't said his name too much today. Kazi. And the shot will be stopped by D'Amatos.
Yeah, I don't, we're not down on the bench. I'm not sure if there was an injury. We did see him go off the ice early in the first, and he was certainly frustrated.
Clean face-off win. Shot from the point, and that'll be stopped before it even reached the goal. With a shot attempt from Haggerty from way out deep. Misplaying the puck, it's Castles. Giving the Friars another chance here on the forecheck. McCormick angles it off the boards. Michael Heck just throws it back out to center ice, intercepted by Justin Beluzzi, the senior. Good battle behind the cage. Shirelli tries to just throw one towards the net. And the Flyers will play right off the stanchions and get a lucky bounce back out to the middle of the ice.
And since that goal, possession has been all Friars.
Here comes Haggerty, the leader of the D. Haggerty scores! We're tied up at 3 with under 7 minutes to play.
Oh, what a goal by Haggerty. Worked his way up the ice, a good head of steam behind him, made a terrific cut inside a few defenders at the blue line, and then the wrist shot, rocket, puts in the net. We are tied at 3 with 6:50 left. What a one-man effort by Haggerty.
Michael Haggerty, his 3rd of the season. Not a big guy, but just such a smart player. And before, the timeout will be called here by Chaminade. Dylan, before, remember, Haggerty took a shot and unleashed one from nearly the middle of the ice, and Bob Lund, you could see him visibly upset on the bench. Well, this time he goes coast to coast and decides to snipe one in for a tie game at 3 goals apiece.
And now certainly momentum has shifted to the visitors from St. Anthony's, and you got to bet part of that message that we saw Bob Lund delivering to his team is to not let up. It's our game now. Keep attacking. Put them on their back foot. Don't relent. Because if I'm honest, it seems like right now, and there's still plenty of time left, it seems like right now Chaminade's a little bit tired.
A game of swings and a game of momentum. You can say that in pretty much all sports, but maybe nothing more than hockey. It just takes one. We saw it the other night. Big shot from Raiden from the blue line will be stopped. We saw it just a week ago, less than a week ago. Just took 1 goal for Belmore Merritt to come back and defeat Long Beach, down by 3 with about 4 minutes remaining. They won in regulation. Throwing it in front was Squeary at the right half wall. Back out to the middle of the ice in their own end. Corwin will bang it right off the glass. Back out to center ice. Picked up by Bentley at the red line. Flipped down deep, and he'll go off for a change.
So that goal by Haggerty unassisted with 6:50 left. Oh, nearly. St. Anthony's trying to get a stretch pass, ends up in an icing.
5:54 to go here in the third. 3-3 is the score. St. Anthony's got on the board first. That came 5:22 in. Barnage with the goal, Zamble the assist, and then 3 unanswered goals by the Flyers. One of them on the power play. And responding here in the third period with 2 goals to tie up the game. Cabal. Nearly a breakaway, but still gets the forecheck going down deep. Kazi gets pinned up along the boards. Chaminade trying to clear it out. Barnage just is able to get his butt end actually on that puck, which allowed Haight to chip it down deep. Barnage, low shot, looking for the 5-hole. It's loose in the paint and somehow cleared out. They are buzzing. Kazi moving towards the middle of the ice. Moves the pass over to Haggerty, and that got blocked right in front. That one will sting.
I'll tell you, he's got a shot. You mentioned it a couple times tonight, but man.
Kazi tries to saucer a pass across. Who had Cabal, who was at the right dot. Flipped high in the air, and it's going to end up hitting the vent on the far side, which will bring us a whistle. Under 5 minutes to play here in the third in a 3-3 game.
It's been all Friars. Really, you'd have to say, since that second goal, that snipe by Forlenza.
Face off at the right circle. Backhand shot missing wide from Ryan Haight. Dylan, what makes rivalries, of course, so great is that even when it doesn't mean as much, yes, these are still two very important points for everybody. St. Anthony's want to solidify themselves as the #1 seed. Of course, Chaminade still battling and have Iona Prep behind them, but not too far behind them. You know, it takes only a couple of wins. Just seems it brings out the best game in everybody. Piskarski with 2 goals today. He came in today with 1. He'll be leaving with at least 3. Big check along the boards as Cerrone gets taken out by another number 17, Matt Tullio.
Yeah, these refs have been consistent. They've let them play.
In a tie game, offside was going to be the call. They had Tullio coming across. This will bring the face-off all the way back in front of the St. Anthony's bench, which is not led since late in the first period. Landolfi wins the draw. To the near wall, just pushing it out past the blue stripe was Haight, but Timmy tries to gain the line, couldn't do so legally. And another whistle will bring it outside. Another big game tonight, Fordham Prep taking on St. Joseph's by the Sea. Those are the teams that are right now tied for 4th, at least in points. Remember, top 4 make the playoffs. The standings right now, St. Anthony's, Chaminade, Iona Prep, Fordham Prep, and St. Joe's. Monsignor Farrell rounds out the A division.
I think seeing a lot of these teams, I'd say Fordham would be that 4th team to make it. I think the 2 Westchester-based teams are a step ahead of the 2 Staten Island teams right now.
Iona Prep will end up seeing Chaminade tomorrow night. So again, they're still battling, trying to get maybe a top 2 spot. Plenty of time left in this season, still almost a month. A little bit less than a month before the regular season concludes. And we begin the playoffs, where these 2 teams have been in the finals the last 3 years. Haggerty trying to cross the red line. Another good play by Radin, forces him back into his own end. 2:45 to play. Nice stretch pass, tape to tape. Barnage spins out of a check, has some space, moves it over to the near wall. Cross ice pass, Zamble at right point. Surveys the ice, keeps it low, shot, score! Mulmeister takes the lead with 2:34 to go.
Now the question was that in fact a shot, or was that the pass in front? Either way, it ends up in a St. Anthony's goal, and what a turn of events here in this 3rd period.
3 unanswered goals for Chaminade, now followed by 3 unanswered goals here in the 3rd period alone by St. Anthony's. It will be Mulmeister's goal, his 12th of the season, and what a celly jumping right into the to the wall. Usually helps when you have some more guys over there to bang on the glass, but just the way the setup is here. And now trailing for the first time in this game since about 2 minutes left in the first. Chaminade playing from behind as they really have most of this series.
Yeah, credit Zamble. And I'll get the second assist in a moment.
That'll be Zamble's 2nd helper of the game. Assist 5 and 6. D'Amatos with the pass, and it goes straight onto the tape of a Friar, but missing the net was Kazi. Now he makes the leg stop, redirects it to the far corner with 95 seconds to play. D'Amatos has been good. Maybe probably the only mistake he's made tonight. McCormick going the other way. Tries to get past Haggerty, and that's going to be a penalty. And Haggerty putting the hands up saying, what did I do? And honestly, Dylan, an interference call on that one. Not too sure about it.
Yeah, I think it's a soft call. The puck was right there.
Chaminade is 1 for 2 on the power play. Paul D'Amatos is going to come off.
Or will they have a timeout first? That's right. Will St. Anthony's take the timeout? Did they take the timeout?
So the Friars will call this timeout and talk things over with a minute 24. Well, check that, a minute 23 left on the game clock. Again, St. Anthony's got on the board first, followed by back-to-back goals from Peter Pekarski, one on the power play, one even strength. Tim Landolfi took the lead at 3-1. And then for Lenza, Haggerty with a game-tying goal. And Mahlmeister, who has the go-ahead tally, which came just less than 2 minutes ago. Now a 4-3 lead for St. Anthony's over Chaminade.
Now remember, if, and it certainly appears that Ed Smith, the Chaminade coach, will pull D'Amatos here, St. Anthony's can ice the puck because they're killing a penalty.
Squeary, Cerrone, Radin, Landolfi. Corwin and Morwin at the points. Pacifico and Barnich will be up front along with Zamble and Haight on the defensive side for the Friars. Nick Wunderling is in between the pipes coming out of relief late in the second. Face-off one cleanly by Chaminade. Corwin looks, shoots, right pad save, and a ricochet to the far side. Zamble flags it down. Moves the puck D to D, deflects before it hits all the way down, hustling over Pacifico. Morwin battling hard, he'll come away with the biscuit, but then the pass is turned over. Pacifico flips it down deep after taking a bump. Barnich on the forecheck, 50 seconds now to play. The wide open net for Chaminade, and they are in the power play, 6-on-4. Corwin. Good stick check from Zamble, but Chaminade still battling to the corners. Here's Ryan Haight with another good check. Knocks him off the puck. Shot from the point by Corwin. It's loose, still kept in. Landolfi fights for it. Shot the length of the ice, just missing wide.
Again, no icing. They've got to hurry.
That was Haight's attempt. 15 seconds to play. Tape to tape, Landolfi with 10 seconds to go. Gains the blue line, tries to go right past Zamble, kept in, but not according to the official. Very close to corralling that blue line, so there'll be 5.6 seconds and a face-off back in the neutral zone.
What a play by Zamble, too, to just get in front of an on-rushing Landolfi as Radin still chirping away.
Less than 6 seconds, crazier things have happened. Landolfi wins the draw. 3 seconds now, here's 2. They're not gonna get a shot off in time. Wunderling makes the save even though the buzzer sounded. The Friars have swept Chaminade in the regular season. Coming back with 3 unanswered here in the third frame.
And what a rally. This is why they are the defending champions, why they are undefeated on this season. They find a way. Certainly their biggest challenge to this point. They haven't had a deficit like they faced here in the third period, but they end the game like the champions they are, and what a big win for the Friars.
I mean, when you just look at overall, the best games they've played, of course, have been against Chaminade. They're usually winning by about 5 goals per game, especially even Chaminade winning about 5 goals per game, except for their losses against this same team from the Friars, and there'll be another L on their record. They'll move now to 7-3 and a perfect 9-0 in the Catholic League for St. Anthony's. What a game from Paul D'Amatos for Chaminade, but unfortunately for him, he will end up taking the loss. Nick Wunderling gets the win coming into this game late in the second period after John Peterson got pulled. Well, this may not be the final time we see these two teams. Of course, a lot of people hoping, Dylan, that they will see each other once more, and that would end up being in the playoffs in just a month or so. But before we obviously wrap things up here, just overall, what does it show to you about, of course, top 10 team you have in the poll? What does it show to you about what St. Anthony's Friars are all about?
I think this is the first true time that they were tested. And you want to see the mettle of a team like that. You know, they've cruised throughout the season. They haven't played non-conference teams. They'll have a game against Pelham ahead, but it's been smooth sailing to this point. Even the last game against Chaminade, at the time it was tied, right? So they still weren't in a situation where they trailed by 2 going into the third. So I think it shows, again, there's that intangible among the group that they find a way. They get it together as a group, and they find a way, and they did that tonight. Baumeister
with the go-ahead game-winning goal. 4-3 the final score. St. Anthony's defeats Chaminade. We'll be back one final time and talking to one of those victorious Friars of St. Anthony's in just a couple of minutes. It's News 12 Varsity Hockey, and we'll be back with more. Welcome back to News 12 Varsity. Round 3, St. Anthony's Chaminade. Round 1, 2, and 3. The knockout punch because of this guy, Ryan Baumeister, scored the game-winning goal late. But Ryan, it's their first chances here in Chaminade St. Anthony's. I mean, overall, what has it been like to you now the first 3 meetings?
It's like a great experience. Like, I love being here. The fans are great. It's a great atmosphere to play hockey in.
For this game overall, goes down, you give up 3 straight goals. Now you're down 3-1. Goalie change. Nick Gordon has to come into the net. What's being said before you start out that third period?
Play the same way. Got to dig a little harder. Coaches trust the process. It's all of a teamwork. Everyone playing for each other. It's a great. And then we just play the same way we play for Pearson, but dig a little harder.
When you guys are able to come back and start, chipping in some goals, now you have a tie game on a Haggerty shot. What's going through your mind on a bench?
You're like, let's keep digging. I got to get another goal to win this game.
Well, normally you're not playing on a line with some of the guys when you end up scoring the game-winning goal, but you're out there. Take us through that game winner now.
Well, Coach told me to go out, stand in front of the net like usual, and I saw Timmy throw it back to Haight, and I threw it towards the net, tried to get a stick on it. It stuck to my stick, and the goalie wasn't even in the net, so I just slid it in home, and the fans just went wild.
What is it like to play in a game like this, which, again, is always so physical? You have to play disciplined. And you're used to playing, obviously, in big games, playing travel, but to play for your high school, what does it mean?
It means a lot. Like, coming into school, probably Tuesday is going to be really fun, like it usually is every game. You win a big game like this, and can't wait for Tuesday.
There's a lot of time left in this season. You're going to see plenty of teams still in the Catholic League. You'll see some teams from outside of it. But what still needs to be worked on overall for this group?
I think we got to work on more like getting low shots to the net. Like we got a couple low shots. The game winner was a low shot. Got a tip on it. We got to work on breakouts as usual. Everyone needs to work on something. We'll find a way.
How long are you gonna wear this hat for?
Until I go home.
Ryan Baumeister wearing their victory hat today as they come back. 3 unanswered goals in the third period to win 4-3. Baumeister's game-winning goal. For everyone here at News 12 Varsity, our producer Josh Strebsky, and my broadcast partner Dylan Butler, I'm Dan Savarino saying thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.